Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to WhatsMap, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Right, today we have two maps, both of the low requirement variety, so if you're running a potato, both of today's maps will definitely suit you. One map that would have definitely suited me about 6 years ago is today's second map. Whilst it doesn't have the same standards as the first map, and that'll be clear to see once we get down there, it would have definitely wet my whistle. I was specifically looking for a certain type of map 6 years back, found one, it was awful, and ended up running a new series called WhatsMap, trying to find myself the best map for my next city build, and today's second map would definitely have fulfilled that need. A little bit of news about behind the scenes coming up during the first flyover, but before we do any of that, we've got this. That's right, clicking that like button really does support the channel, gets me seen by more people and helps me grow a little bit more every single day. Thank you for your support. Today's first map is Island Bay by MultiSasch. Okay, MultiSasch, first time on the show. Not their first map, it might be their second map, but the first one that we've had a look at. It was performing quite well on the workshop this week and just stood out. There's your start square, that looks very neat. Thank you very much for that. Terrain heights, lots of flat buildable space, a few little hills and mountains, and one big mountain, which we'll look at when we do the fly around. Resources are a little bit on the light side, probably enough to get you through, but it's a bit disinteresting there. Fishing, if you've got Sunset Harbour and want to do some fishing, we have shellfish and anchovies and a little bit of salmon. Okay, off to the workshop. What do we need? Well, it's a mass transit map. You will need mass transit for this one, and that's it. And that is it. No themes or LUTs or anything, just a short description there. Down here it does say there's a missing requirements list on the load. It says that a theme is missing. Up there it says it's all linked in the description, which is there. Well, that's because it is 100% vanilla apart from the theme. Now the theme, which automatically loads in if you've got it, is Cedar Valley 4K. But without Cedar Valley 4K, you'll be loading in with the vanilla temperate. I have Cedar Valley 4K, so we'll be looking at it with Cedar Valley, but we're going to have to downgrade the aesthetic score because we have to imagine what this looks like with vanilla, because most people won't have Cedar Valley 4K, but a good chunk of people, but most people won't. Anyway, let me just tell you, we've got some decent standards on this map. We've got some non-aligned bridges, which you're going to spot, and we'll stop and have a quick look at those. But let me just tell you what's coming up this week while I've got a moment. Tomorrow, do join me tomorrow night at 9 PM UK time. I'm going to be playing a little bit of Project Zomboid. Bridge looks a little bit low here, and we've got a freighter coming in. Let me just see whether that clips through. Pretty sure we're going to get some shipping clipping here. But yes, join me for a bit of live Project Zomboid. I'm pleasantly surprised by just how good that particular game is. You're thinking zombie game, not really my taste. I know you're thinking that. I'll tell you what, I think you might be surprised. It's not that hack and slash zombie game that you're thinking, although there is some hacking and slashing. But yeah, non-aligned bridges there, and some jinky jankies causing some arrows to turn up on the highways also. And then I've got a very special treat for you. Oh, also I like this. Elevated on this side where it's just dropping away, the land's dropping away, and ground level on the other side. That's very neat work, by the way. Just sort of say that, MultiSasch. Very neat work. But yes, join me on Saturday. It'll be a pre-recorded show. It's the schedule show. Now, this is normally exclusive only to channel supporters and the BonBon buddies over on Patreon. But this week is 1 week only. I'm going to do it as a freebie giveaway. And yes, now it is designed to make you go, I want to see this every week. Jinky janky going on there. I want to do that for the BonBonBingo players. Link is in the description. But yeah, of course, I want you to become a paying member of the channel. So I'm going to give you a little sample of what you're missing out on every single week where we have a little look at the workshop maps and try and find the best ones for the upcoming week. This intersection, at first glance, I hated it. Okay? At first glance. But the more I look at it, the more I like it on this particular map. I mean, it's creative. There's some very good standards in there as well. Fits into a little valley, just about in the valley. You're not going to do much of a building in that area. And gives you some decent access into the start square. I think that's quite pleasing. I didn't think I was ever going to say that, but now that I've given it a little bit more look, I think it's quite pleasing. We also have a bit of rail as well, and they're very good standards on the rail as well. And this has got a nice little destination to head towards. So anyway, yes, so Saturday night, it's a pre-recorded show, so yeah, do feel free to join me on that one. We'll be picking out the maps for next week, looking at the workshop, deciding on whether screenshots are good screenshots or not good screenshots, and I'll just point out things that I think would make a map a little bit more subscribable. If you're having trouble getting subscribers for your uploads, maybe sort of like a little insight from me going, well, this screenshot isn't very nicely framed, or that could be a better screenshot, and just sort of like the sort of things that would make things pop for me. A little bit of tree encroaching onto the catenaries there. So yes, so that's Saturday will be the scheduled show. This week only free to view. And then of course become a BonBonBody for, I mean, it's a low level, $2 a month will get you access to that every single week, and it's like a half-hour show. You know, it's good, definitely worth being there for. And then of course some live streaming tomorrow night with Project Zomboid. So anyway, down here we have everybody's favourite factories. I like the way it's been done. I'm like, you know, I like in the framing and the shaping and the design of the map. There's only one little thing I'm not a big fan on the map, which I'll point out a bit later on. Just the one aspect of the map that doesn't really grab me. But I'm liking the shapes of the trees. I'm liking the shapes of the way that the islands and the coastline's being broken up. The hills around here are not too imposing, that you can still get in and build around them, but they also cause a bit of a barrier. I'm good with that as well. And then as we come down this way, we've got a few little islands, just again, just breaking up the boredom of these bays. You might not do much building, if any, over here, but you've got that. And then you've got a somewhat big chunky lump of rock over here, which I think that might be a little bit bigger than I would have gone with. I probably would have reduced that by about 33%, maybe just a third smaller. Okay, around the outside of the map and around the outside of the main buildable space, we've got some interesting shaped islands. I approve. And the beaches, the old Cedar Valley sort of like pebbly style beaches, I kind of approve of those as well. And the whole thing fits together very neatly. I'm even liking these little couple of islands in the middle of the map here. I think those are definitely usable, probably for sort of like dumping your garbage on, something that New York did for a while. What was the garbage island? I can't remember what it was, what it is even. But yes, this mountain, I like the shape. I just think it's a bit weirdly imposing over the inside. Saying that, wait till you see the second map. There's a weirdly imposing mountain on the second map as well. But this one doesn't quite work for me, given the scale of the rest of the map. Just a little smaller. It could still be the largest thing on the map, but I think just a wee bit smaller in height. That's my opinion anyway. And you can disagree. You're entitled to an opinion. Anyway, got some dry river, or I'm guessing dry rivers or lakes or something. Well, we've got loads of fallen trees down there. Maybe this is just like forest clearance. I'm not quite sure. But again, it looks great. And looking great is 3/4 of the battle. Also, this little thing here, this pillar, the way it's been angled, not to be in the road, a lesser creator would have missed that. So MultiSasch, you can take a little bow for that. Just little things like that. Little things please me like that, you know. Little things like, the Essential Lighthouse, isn't she lovely? Yep, little things like the Essential Lighthouse please me too. Now, we've got some intersection marking going on. If you have an intersection marking tool, you'll have this. If you don't, you won't. Of course, the chevrons are pointed in the wrong way, but let's not worry too much on that one. Some of the alignments down here are a little bit out, just a little bit with the lines. See how they just don't quite match up. Me getting, yeah. Let me come out of it. Don't want that. Let me call up intersection marking tool, show you what I mean. So if we choose here, let's go for, let's get it, red one. I'm just going to shift that across a bit, and the orange one I'm going to shift that one across a bit, and it lines up. It's I'm going to do the ones at the top as well, why not? There's the red one. Oh, come on. Live with it. Scroll wheel. There we go. Line that one up. There you go. Now I'm a bit closer, I can see what I'm doing. Probably could do the orange one as well. The dotted line on the orange one isn't quite lined up, but let's not worry about it. Also, the thickness of the lines doesn't quite match. So we're talking about going to the nth degree. Given though that intersection marking tool isn't listed as a requirement, I'm not that worried about this one, but little things like this can get you a bit of extra score in the detail department if you're going for it. And I would say this is, I mean, the map's good enough. The map is good enough. I wouldn't worry too much about that, but I think those intersection markings could just be a little bit fine-tuned if we want to worry about it. But I'm not breaking a sweat on this one. I'll be fine. Okay, let's have a little look at the shipping routes. Have we got a shipping route? Oh, we do have a shipping route. Yes, we have one that cuts across that way, across the top of the map there, and one that goes up the other side of the map as well, which we just saw. Water flow in the start square. Is there any? Let's come down here. We've got a little bit of motion in the ocean, pushing in this way and pushing in this. Oh, it's coming in from both directions. That means somewhere in the middle will be a null point. Yes, somewhere around here will be sewage. Just, yeah, and it won't go, and it'll stink, and people won't like it. So maybe go for an industrial area or find another solution. There's always another solution, isn't there? Yes. Shitty ocean solution, that's what that is. Anyway, I think we've covered most of it. Obviously there's more I could show you, but you've got the general gist of the map. So therefore I'm going to ask you, what do you think of today's first map? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Hit the I button now or the link in the description. It will take you to the voting page where you can vote for free. But remember to vote on the correct map, because there are 2. But what do I think of Island Bay by MultiSasch? Well, aesthetically, it's a winner for me, with the Cedar Valley 4K theme. However, that's not listed as a requirement. There's no link to it, and thus this will probably load in with the vanilla temperate theme, which isn't as good. I was going to go into 4 stars, very happily go into 4 stars for aesthetics, but I'm going to have to drop it down to the top end of 3, because I do like the design and shape. Detailing, again, we're probably in low 4-star territory here. Having said that, we've got some shipping clipping, which is a bit of a big score deduction. Again, I've got to go down into 3 stars towards the top end though. And gameplay potential, again, want to go into 4 stars on this one. But again, this is a vanilla base game style map, and we have that problem with the water in the start square. So again, I've got to go towards the top end of 3. Island Bay by MultiSasch is better than the 333, but them be the rules. I feel really bad. I'll take a break. Be right back. And so on with today's second map, as voted in by the BonBon buddies over on Patreon. Yes, they reckon that this was the map that would really make my day, and do you know what? I'm glad they voted it in. This is the map which 6 years ago, had I played it, we wouldn't have what's map now, because this would have definitely filled my gap. I've been very happy with this back then. It's
my first map.
That's right. So we're going to be a little bit forgiving of some of the standards, and the standards, they are a little bit clunky, but the overall design and shape, I'm a big fan. Today's second map is Frog Plane by Kerotan Frog, and it's based on the a terrain height map from Marseille in France, and it kind of works. It kind of works as a wetland map. Really liking it. Start square's got enough that buildable space. I'm okay with that, even though it looks a bit too wetlandy. I'm good with it. Terrain heights are workable across the important parts of the map. The resources are so lush. I'm loving the resource map. Thank you very much. That's made my day. And we have got a really strong fishing map as well, if you've got Sunset Harbour and you want to do some fishing. Okay, off to the workshop. What do we need? There's a list of 4 items on the right. Ignore the one-click collection, 247 items. That is a list of useful mods that they use. And there's, well, like I say, we've got a couple of very interesting little assets there. Mount Fuji and Toad Park being 2 of them. And we've got some custom roads in there as well. So, anyway, we are running with the vanilla temperate theme, the realistic 1.2 LUT. We're using the realistic 1.2 LUT on the last map as well. I didn't mention that back then. Get it out of the way now. So anyway, you're going to see plenty of little issues like where the roads are separating here from the terrain over here as well. And it won't surprise you if I tell you we're going to find some blue mantle and just some clunky work here and there. We're also going to see some good work here and there. It doesn't balance out the clunky work because it's just the way that it is. But for me, this map has got a magic to it. People will know. People will know I love my water. Hang on, there we go. We've got a little bit of blue mantle under there. Yeah, a lot of you will know that I love my maps to have some interesting water built into them, and this one definitely has. You want to let the water settle down a bit. There are some areas that will persistently flood. It's a flood map. You're going to have to do some fixing with the roads. Not so much that there's nothing of the all your main arterial connections will be fine. But there's some of your side roads, your side national roads, they may need a little bit of fixing as you're going. You may notice some missing pillars there on the suspension bridge. Not the first time we've seen that, and won't be the last. Like you'll see another one over here as well. Missing pillar on suspension bridge there. And here we got 5 out of 6 are good. And the 6th one is missing the pillar. I'm not quite sure why or how, but they are. And down anyway, we're down at the start square now. Start square is fun and interesting. We've got a little featurette area down there as well, which we'll take a little look at as we follow through the flyover in a moment. Over here, I'm not entirely sure what this is. I'm guessing it's a rest area. Rest area island. I mean, it's very clunkily done, but a rest area island right there. I mean, why not? Well, it's just. I don't think I've ever seen it before. Not done like that. But why not? Why not? We have rail on the map as well. The rail follows reasonable routes. The highways and the national roads follow interesting workable routes as well. But we are going a little bit up and down and bouncing around again with the rail lines. So true realists might have to do a little bit of cleaning up of the rail lines. Well, the highways as well. Basically everywhere. Everywhere. More just as you're going along. Just as you go along. Just as you're building your city. Just do some fixing. Oh, hello. We've got a little bridge over here that does not look vanilla. I think this is Industries. We had one of these last week. Was it last week or was it Monday? No, one day rolls into another. That's almost certainly an Industries DLC bridge. Let me have a little look. Yeah, there we go. Industries. So, yes, without Industries, that bridge will be missing. But the map won't be broken. That's not going to break the map. But you'll be missing a little bit of detailing there. So anyway, there's your Mount Fuji in the top right hand corner of the screen there. We're not going to focus on it. It does live there in the background. And you'll have to set your mod settings to allow it to show from a distance, because it looks better from a distance than it does up front. We've got all these wetland areas, which I think are going to be a lot of fun to play with. I would have absolutely adored it. Again, 6 years ago, I would have adored this map. Less so now, but even so, I really do appreciate seeing it. Don't mind the bushes in the water, because it's supposedly a marshland area. can let it go. And they've gone to the effort of removing the trees from the rivers. On the whole, there are one or two little drowned ones over here, going for a little paddle. Again, on the wetland map, I don't mind a few like that. It kind of almost works. And if you see a whole river that's missing them, then yeah, being missed, then that's where you kind of grumble a little bit. But I'm appreciating the effort that's gone into clearing the rivers that has been done. Yeah. Shall we do some hopping about? Because there is some hopping about. Oh, hang on. Let's do the shipping routes first. New shipping routes first. We have one shipping route. And it's just a straightforward little bend in it. That's a good shipping route. That's how you do a shipping route. Well done. Water flow in the start square, where it's a wetland map with working rivers. So once I find the start square down here, you'll see we have got good strong water running through at this side. As you go down the other side, it just tapers out a little bit, but you'll still be okay. As long as you use a little bit of common sense, it will work fine for you. Right, okay, so I think this is a point where I start toying with bouncing around the map. Like here, this is your feature area in the start square. I kind of like this. It's a bit clunky, a little bit clunky in places, but there are a lot of things about it I like. Oh, it's a castle. We've got the little pier there. Pier in a little lake like that. Seems a bit dumb. I like it. Something about it, I like it. It's glitching into the terrain a bit, causing that fence there to become, well, elevated by about 3 miles. It's kind of holding back the tree. It's got its trunks on, ready to go for a paddle, and that fence is holding it back, going, nope, you're staying on the land. Don't know if that was intended, but I'll tell you what, I love it. We have got those little frog parks down here, which again, wetland map, brilliant idea. Absolutely love this. A little bit of charm to the map, and they just fit. We're not going overboard on the map. We're just going, do you know what? We'll have this one and that one, and we'll call it quits there. Do you know what? I'm very happy. Also, oh, it's a castle. Now, I love this castle. It's not in terms, again, of the quality of the detailing, more the design of how it's been worked into this ridge. And they've gone for it. They have absolutely gone for it. And I approve. I approve. Again, it does feel a little bit glitchy. A little bit. But all told, for me, yes, thank you so much. Everything about the design of that castle is lovely. We have a permanently flooded road under the river down here. Just nothing you can do about that without doing some major fixering, which is something that can be done. Yes, it's the missing pillars. We've seen the missing pillars, but I thought I'd point them out again. That across the map there are places that those are missing. The beaches, I like the shape, but it just feels a bit glitchy, doesn't it? You can just see it's just like a bit lumpy and bumpy, and a little bit of the smoothing tool in the terrain editor. Let me bring that one up, and I just run a light softening brush across it here. This is just a stupidly quick fix. Ideally, I'd want to spend a lot more time on this one, working my way along and just like fine-tuning. Like even now, even with that quick fix, you can just still see we've got a little bit of pixelization going on, like here. So yes, there's more work that can be done, but I think that would elevate the beaches just a little bit, because you can just see it's just underworked down here, which is a bit of a shame. But that is still I like it more than I don't like it, and just needs work. Anyway, over here we've got, now this is a true BonBon Island. Okay, this is far enough away for me to live on very happily. We've got everybody's favourite factory. We've got the essential lighthouses. We've got it's a castle. We've got all the burnt out shacks. We've got the sunken ships. We've got everything. When I say the sunken ships, some of them haven't quite sunk yet. This one hasn't quite sunk yet. It's got a helium delivery. Once it's done that, it will sink itself. And there's another one over here as well, which is just a little bit floaty. But yeah, it's a busy little detailed island, and I approve again. I approve of something else. Now, remember I said earlier about trees in the rivers, and there might be a missing one. Yeah, this was the river that was missed in the clearing of the rivers of the trees. And there's another one over here right at the very top. It's been missed a little bit up here as well. A little patch of trees there. But yeah, it's a bit tree spammy. But they've gone around afterwards and cleaned up little areas. And again, I approve of the effort that's been made there. A big old cloverleaf intersection here with blue mantle, big splashes. Wherever you go across the map, you will find clunky bits of road, blue mantles, the lot. Like over here, you can see it separates so much. We've got blue mantle sneaking through there. But look at the buildable space. It's a bit lumpy, but I like that about the map. I like that it hasn't gone to the effort. Probably some blue mantle under here as well, because the tunnel entrance right on the cliff edge there. So yes, there's definitely things could be done to fix the thing up, but there's something magical and damp and dank. It's a dank map. And do you know what really just like elevates it just a little bit for me? That's that Mount Fuji tucked in the corner. Really nice little afterthought. Good work. But do you agree it's good work? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewers' Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Hit the I button now. It will take you to the voting page where you can vote for free, but make sure you're voting on the correct map, because there are 2. Okay, what do I think of today's second map? Well, Frog Plain by Kerotan Frog. I like the overall design on this map. Again, it's been taken from a really good location. It needs a little bit of spit and polish, and a custom theme would be nice, although I think it works quite well. Apart from the beaches, the sand, the vanilla sand doesn't work too well. But apart from that, it does kind of work with the vanilla temperate, so yeah, I'll live with it. It's a medium high 3. Detailing, yeah, I mean, there's plenty of effort gone in. It's almost a 3-star, but there's plenty of stuff that needs fixing, so it is a high end of 2. Gameplay potential, I'm really loving this, but there's a lot of fixing that needs doing, so I can't go higher than a middle-ish 3, but I would lap this up. Frog Plain by Kerotan Frog. 6 years ago, this would be my dream map, so all credit for that. Why did it take so long? Why did it take so long? Oh man, but yeah, really good to see. Just yeah, experience will clean up all those little issues, I'm sure. Anyway, thanks for watching, for commenting, for liking, and for subscribing. If you're still here and now, use the word of the day in the comments to prove you're part of the 20 and out elite. Remember to join me tomorrow night for streaming. We'll be doing Project Zomboid, and of course the free episode of the schedule show coming up this weekend. Be there or be somewhere else. Thanks for watching.